Welcome back to another lesson in my Level 2 Performance and Technique course within the Beginner Piano course. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and if you like what you see, give this video a thumbs up. If you'd like to buy the book with the sheet music, there's going to be links to that below, and I also offer online piano lessons. If you're looking for one, there's going to be links to that below too. In this lesson, we're going to learn a beautiful Menuet by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, and this one is KV.6. It's a minuet in C major. It's in 3 beats, like all minuets, and it is not the easiest one to do because the left hand has kind of a melody of its own in a way, and it's not the typical broken chord pattern that we would find in many classical era pieces. The piece goes really well with chapter 2 and chapter 3 of the level 2 lesson book, and I would say the difficulty is a good medium for this one. The original score doesn't have any tempo indication and any dynamics, so you are welcome to add your own dynamics. The speed should go at a nice medium speed, not too slow and not too fast, but you have a little bit of freedom. The piece is in 2 sections. We've got the first section until the repeat sign, and then we've got the second section, which is between the second set of repeat signs. Let's start with the first section. We're going to start with the right hand where the melody rests. So starting number 1 on the high C, middle C, high C, and let's count it. 1, 2, 3, and 1, and 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, and 2, 3, 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3. So that was a playthrough of the right hand. Lots of things to talk about here. The first one is the slurs that Mozart added for those quavers. Remember, at this time in history, legato was still used as kind of a special effect. They didn't always play everything legato by default like what we do nowadays with most styles of music. So when you have those slurs, make sure you connect those notes, and the rest of the notes can be slightly detached, although it sounds more stylistic and musical if we keep all our quavers connected, despite the fact that many of them don't have a slur above them. The second thing to pay attention to is the rhythm. So we've got these quavers after the minims and crotchets, or eighth notes, quarter notes, and half notes. So the rhythm is 1, 2, 3, and 1, and 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, and 2, 3. It always helps to clap the rhythm a couple of times and say the rhythm before you attempt to play the notes. The third thing that you need to have a look at is the finger numbers. They tend to change very frequently. So let's do it once again a little bit slower. 1, 2, lift, 3, and 1, and 2. So 2, 3, 2. We do a finger substitution on the D, then lift up, 1 on the D, 1, 2, 3, and 1, and 2, 3. Another substitution, 3 and 2, then 1 on the E, 1, and 2, and 3, and 1, and number 3, D sharp, and coming down the scale, 3, 2, 1, 2, G. So again, lots of finger number changes. Watch out for that. Left hand is a little bit easier on its own. Only crotchets or quarter notes. We start in the C position, 3 on the E, starting with a rest. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, octave jump, and 1, 2, 5. So finishing on a G arpeggio, quite jumpy here. C, D, D, G, D, G. So left hand is really counting for the right hand. Let's put it hands together. Right hand starts 1, 2. Now we can see already we had 4 lifts in these 3 seconds. So right hand starts, left hand, right hand lifts, lift and down, lift, 1, and that's the first section. Second section, very similar rhythm, but slightly different notes. Let's start with the right hand one on the G. 1, 2, 3, and 1, and 2, 3. So again, a finger substitution. Then F natural, 1, 2, 3, and 1, and 2, 3. Then number 2 on the A, 1, change to 1, 2, and 3, and 1, and 2, and 3, G sharp, 1, and 2, and number 3 on the C, and finishing on a C. Left hand, number 3 on the B, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, C, C. Jumping up to the F, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, G, C, G, C. So we've got the same pattern as the ending of the first section, but this time we're not ending on the dominant in G major, we're going to end on the tonic chord C major. So let's start hands together, 1 on the G, 3 on the B. 1, 2, 3, and 1, and 2, 3. F. 2 and 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3. At the end, of course, you can slow down for the final bar of the piece, and don't forget you need to repeat the first section twice before you go on to the second section. This is a beautiful piece by Mozart, and it's so perfect for beginners and early intermediate students as it presents quite a few challenges but in a manageable form. In order to get a good performance of this very simple piece, we need lightness, elegance, and gentleness all the way through. So keeping the rhythm very nice and even, and working with legatos and detached notes to create a beautiful artistic effect.